Hello students, as we already discussed about the process transgenesis, now we will study the application of biotechnology one by one. So firstly we are going to discuss about the biotechnological applications in the medicines. So this biotechnology will help in to find out or to diagnose a number of diseases, and that is only possible by the PCR. As you know, PCR is a technique by which we can make the multiple copies or amplify the segments of the DNA. So what we can do, we just need a pathogen whose DNA we can take out, and then we can multiply that DNA into thousands copy. And in the labs we already have the template DNA strand of different pathogens. Then we can match the DNA that is the probe of the pathogen, the DNA that is taken from the pathogen act as a probe, and which can use to match the template DNA that we are present in the in the labs. So second is biotechnological application is used to make a number of pharmaceutical products, and these pharmaceutical products are mainly proteins, and these proteins, as you know, is coded by the genes. So we can take out that gene and can insert in the bacteria, and we can culture on the large scale to obtain these proteins. So what are these pharmaceutical products? These are the hormones, interferons, steroids, vaccines, monoclonal antibodies are also there. So we will discuss hormones. In hormones, we will take an example of the insulin. As you know, insulin is synthesized by the pancreas, and this insulin is released by the beta cells of islets of Langerhans that are present in the pancreas. So what is the function of this insulin? This insulin will lower down the sugar level of the sugar in the blood. So what would happen if any person is releasing less amount of insulin at that time? The level of the sugar is automatically increased, and if the sugar level will be increased, it will cause a disorder that is known as the diabetes. So this insulin is made up of 51 amino acids. So these 52 amino acids are found in two chains, A chain and beta chain. B chain, A chain is made up of 21 amino acids, and B chain is made up of 30 amino acids, and both these chains are linked together by a disulfide bonds. But main point is, when human insulin is synthesized, it is synthesized in the form of proinsulin, that is the immature insulin, and that proinsulin is converted into insulin by the process is known as the maturation. Suppose you just see this is A chain and this is the B chain. Both the chains are linked by the disulfide bonds, but there is a black line that is showing the C peptide that will make it inactivate. So removal of this C peptide by the process of maturation makes the proinsulin and convert into insulin, that is the functional insulin. So how this hormone insulin can be synthesized? This insulin hormone can synthesize by recombinant DNA technology that we have discussed. So first insulin was obtained from the sluggard animals, from the pancreas of sluggard animals like the cattle and the pigs, but that is not identical to the like the human beings insulin. How it will differ? Pigs insulin differ in the one amino acid sequence, whereas cattle's amino acid will differentiated into 3 amino acid sequence with respect to humans. So GeneTech is the company who first make the transgenic E. coli in 1978 and synthesize the human insulin. After that, that technique is purchased by the company Eli Lilly company in September 1982. Then in 1983 in July, they will make the first engineered human insulin and given the name Humulin because it is for the use of the humans. So we can say this insulin will control the level. This insulin control the level of the sugars in the humans. With that, we can synthesize by the recombinant DNA technology. And second is the interferons. What are interferons? Interferons are the antiviral protein that is also known as the cytokines. These are low molecular weight proteins. These are released by the infected cells. That means whenever any virus will cause the infection, that infected cell in response to virus will release the cytokines or these interferons that will give the message to the other neighboring cells that they can protect themselves from these virus. So these are only released in response to virus. These interferons are of three types: alpha, beta, and gamma. Alpha interferons are released by the leukocytes, beta interferons released by the fibroblast and epithelial cells, and gamma interferons released by the lymphocytes whenever any virus will cause the attack on the cells. Next we can say the steroids. Steroids are the complex lipids of high molecular weight proteins. Yes, these are of same structure, like these are made up of one 5 carbon ring structure and one 6 carbon ring structures. We can take the example of steroid, that is the cholesterol. Cholesterol is the important human and plant steroid that is part of the animal cell membrane also. So this cholesterol will also act as a starting point for synthesizing the male sex hormone testosterone and female sex hormone is the estrogen. So if we can synthesize these steroids with the help of biotechnological process, so we can use it for treatment of a number of diseases like the arthritis also. It can use, these steroids can also use to suppress the immunity in the autoimmune disorders also. It can use to make a number of sex hormones that can be used as a oral contraceptive devices. Next, fourth is the vaccines. What are the vaccines? Vaccines are the dead, weak, inactivated pathogens that are inoculated into the body to enhance the immunity, that are known as the vaccines. So what we can say, these are dead or deactivated pathogens, but as the technology is improving, vaccines are also improving. But because in the starting, as you know, vaccines was discovered by the Edward Jenner when he was studying about the smallpox. So firstly we were using the complete pathogen. We will just inactivate that pathogen, then inoculate it into the patient body. But as the time passed, then scientists have just taken out that part of the pathogen which is mainly responsible for the disease. After that, they just taken out the toxins that is responsible for causing the disease. So vaccines are divided on the basis of that: first generation vaccines, second generation, third generation. But now live vaccines are in the current use, where the genes of the that is causing the disease is already inserted into the plants, and that plants will make the proteins that will go into the fruits and vegetables. And if the children will eat that fruits and vegetables, they are automatically generating the immunity. So first generation vaccine complete pathogens were used. In second generation, parts of the pathogens will be used. In third generation, the toxins that are causing the disease of the pathogens were used. But in the last, that is live vaccines, we are just inserting the genes into the plants and then obtaining the products and generating the immunity. So these are the applications of the biotechnology mainly in the medical field. Thank you, beta.